guys, welcome back. Okay, today we're going to talk about something that's kind of been in the works for a while. I was going to do a 1 week update, and then I was going to do a 2 week update, and I've just, I guess, decided to do a 5 week update. We're going to talk about my microneedling treatment that I had in October, and I'm going to show you guys some before and after pictures, some progress pictures, I guess a picture of me with anesthesia all over my face. So if you want to hear all about my microneedling experience and see some results, because I definitely have some so far, then just keep watching this video. Alright, so biggest reason why I wanted to do this video for you guys is, one, I have not seen a video about this particular treatment that I had. My biggest concerns for my skin, and the reason that I went in to have the treatment done, is because of my acne scarring that I have from having cystic acne. It got really, really bad when I was in the Navy, mostly because I didn't have my regular skincare regimen when I was in boot camp. And it got to a point to where random people who didn't even know me were stopping me and going, "What's wrong with your face?" So after that happened, I realized that I might need, well, one, it was very disheartening to have somebody that didn't even know me come up to me and ask me what was wrong with my face. It's not like I didn't see it, and it's not one of those things where, I didn't try to take care of it. And I think that's a common misconception with acne, is that, oh, she has such horrible acne, she must not wash her face, or she's really dirty, or do you even know? Have you been to a dermatologist? The answer to all those questions was yes. I had been on acne treatments since I was 16 years old. And finally, when I realized, okay, if random people are coming up and saying something, maybe I should do something about it just so they'll stop, because it got horrible. So the dermatologist, he took pictures of my face, and then he had to send them off to somewhere to see if I could be approved for Accutane. Everything you can imagine, I have tried to get rid of the acne. So because of the severe cysts that I had, I have some pretty bad scarring. I'm going to insert some pictures here for you guys so that you can kind of see my face when I haven't, tried to do a little bit of blurring. Like I try not to do that, but it's hard because I know that I can do my makeup. I feel I can do my makeup well, and it's destroyed by the texture and everything that goes on with the scarring. I had done a lot of research on ways to get rid of the scarring. The biggest thing that was told to me, and the one of the things that I researched the most, was some kind of lasering, like a Fraxel laser or a microneedling treatment. Now, this isn't the kind of treatment that I had, isn't like a derma roller. It wasn't something like that. It wasn't one of those things where they would like roll it on your skin, where you've seen like, celebrities go and have done. And it wasn't like a derma pen where they like just put this thing on your face and like the tiny needles like, did this. It wasn't one of those things. It was actually, I think it's fairly new. It's been on the market a year and a half, 2 years, and it's called Fractora, and it's by some company. They're called In Mode Aesthetics. So I went to a few different like skin spa places where they just do like Botox and Fraxel and things like that. And the only way that I could, I guess, improve it was to have something dramatic done. I had to do something aggressive. I have different kinds of scarring. There are different kinds of acne scarring, and if you're watching this and you have acne scarring, I feel your pain, and it's disheartening. And I just want, you know, if you are watching this and you are ashamed or embarrassed of your skin, you know, all of the emotions that come with having acne, I understand. And I find that hard when I click on someone's acne story, or I want to hear what somebody has to say about, you know, something that they're using or whatever skincare or something that, you know, is pertaining to acne, and I click on, you know, the video or the picture and they legitimately do have perfect skin. And I'm like, you don't get it. You've never walked around for almost a year with a massive cyst on your face that hurts and it doesn't go away and that you can't, you know, fix. So if you're watching this, I can promise you that I understand. I had already done some research on this plastic surgeon in the past, so I made a call and they said they could get me in the following week to do a consultation. And when I went in for the consultation, I went in thinking that I was going to be doing Fraxel. Well, when I got in there, the PA, she brought in like the doctor, the plastic surgeon who, you know, it was his clinic. She brought him in and he said, oh no, he said, we really need to do microneedling on her. And he said, and we need to do a 16 pen stamp, which is the most aggressive. They're, and I'll insert some pictures so you guys can see like what I'm talking about with this, like the stamp procedure, because it's not like something that just constantly moves. Like she literally had to put it on my face. It would stamp down the needles into my face, pull it up, and then move a tiny bit more over, stamp. So it was, you know, he said we needed to go really aggressive based off of my acne. Scheduled the appointment, paid for it, and I had to do a few things the night before and then a few things the morning of. I was not allowed to, I had to stop using retinol a week before the procedure, and then I had to start using a skin lightener so that the radio frequency wouldn't completely darken my skin. So I talked about that in my morning skincare routine about that product that I use, and you can go watch that and find out. So I had to use a few different kinds of products, and then the morning of, she didn't want me to eat anything because I didn't know how I would react to all of the medication that they were going to give me. So here's where it kind of starts to get a little bit graphic. If you have a weak stomach or you don't want to hear about medical procedures, then I would suggest maybe, you know, turning off the video. Thanks for watching this far. I'm not going to get like too graphic, but I am going to talk about like what they did to numb my face, which was the most, the worst part for me was getting my face numb in order to do the procedure. She kind of explained to me the day before. They called me the day before and kind of told me like what the procedures were going to be, how long you were going to be there, when my husband needed to pick me up because I was on, you know, painkillers. I couldn't drive. So she kind of, you know, gave me a rundown of everything that was going to happen. And the day before, she told me that they were going to do what's called a cannula. Basically, what he did after I put on like, I want to say it was like 25% lidocaine, and it sat on my face. I'll insert a picture right here of me with all the lidocaine on my face, and I'm super drugged up in this picture. So he made tiny incisions. I had an incision behind my ears, like teeny tiny incisions. I had an incision here, an incision here, an incision below my chin, and then I had, I think, 4 incisions up here, and then one right back here. So he made tiny incisions. So he stuck this cannula into those incisions and moved the cannula around underneath my skin. And I have to admit, even on the painkillers and the numbing cream and everything that they had, you know, put me on to relax me, it hurt. I mean, it wasn't nearly as bad as some of the other medical things that I've had done. I mean, obviously I've had 2 kids. So it wasn't like I was crying hurt. It was just like, oh my gosh, you know, like that hurts. Or I would wince, you know. And it took, I want to say, probably an hour to do that. And what the doctor did was he inserted that little cannula into my skin, and then it basically put lidocaine straight under my skin so that I couldn't feel the microneedling. So once that happened, and you know, he eventually got to a point to where he got to my lips, and there was nothing he could do on basically the center of my face. He put the stamp on my lips, and it hurt so bad. And I was like, like that hurts really, really bad. So he then took a needle or syringe of lidocaine, lifted up to my top lip, and injected directly into my gums of lidocaine. And holy goodness, that was the worst part of the whole day, was when he did that. I remember that very well, and it hurt so bad. Straight up into my mouth, you guys. And that hurt. So the actual procedure itself, I did not feel. I could feel like the little tiny, it felt like tiny, like zap, like a zap into my face of the radio frequency. Because what it did was she would put it on my face, it would stamp in, and before the needles would actually be pulled out of my skin, it would send a radio frequency into my face. So, I could kind of feel like tiny little zaps, but it was nowhere near uncomfortable. I couldn't feel like the needles going into my skin. And like I said, earlier in the video, he decided to go very aggressive on my face. He said that he felt like that would be the best way to go, was to start aggressive. He said, I don't think we should build up. Let's just get you really numb, and let's go really aggressive. And so, of course, I was like, yeah, anything. And one of the things he warned me about was, you know, he said, they're never going to completely go away. It's just, there's nothing in the medical field we can do to make acne scarring go away, because there's so much damage to those layers upon layers upon layers of skin. So the procedure itself only lasted about 30 minutes. She did two pass-throughs, I guess. I don't even know what to call it, but she did 2 rounds, I guess, on my face. She went across every area, and then she went down. And then she asked me what areas were most concerning on my face. And I told her, like, my smile lines. And then I have like really bad like pits right here where it looks like they're marionette lines. Let me see if I can get the camera. So like right here, you can kind of see where it looks like they're marionette lines, but that's actually scarring from having acne. But so I told her that these areas of my face concern me the most, because you can see here that's just stretched skin, that's scarring. And so that, and then just, you know, certain areas that are just not the best. The procedure itself was like I said, 30 minutes. And my husband was waiting to pick me up. They immediately got me up. I could walk. I don't remember it, but I could. And so my face was still really numb. And then she handed me a mirror on my way out. And I looked at myself and I thought, oh my God, what in the hell have I done to myself? And here's a picture right here. And I said, what? I said, is this from the microneedling? And she goes, no. Like, this isn't from the microneedling. She said, that is basically all of the fluid that he put in my face from the cannula and like numbing me. And then of course he mixed it with saline. So it was just, you know, a lot. I had a lot of fluid in my face. So it was basically just the anesthetic of why I looked so swollen. So, got home, felt great, like did laundry that day. I mean, I didn't have any pain, and they told me that I wouldn't, there would be no more pain, because the only thing that should be painful is the procedure itself. But the following 2 days were the worst. It was it was pretty bad. I'd say I had the procedure done on a Wednesday morning, and by Friday afternoon, let me show you guys a picture here, my skin felt like sandpaper. It was just like where I constantly felt like I had a clay mask on. You guys know that feeling where a dried clay mask where you just wanted to go like that constantly. It was really miserable to recover from. I wouldn't say like so miserable that I won't do it again, because I actually need to call the doctor and schedule my next session. And that's another thing I guess I should point out is the doctor said 4 sessions and you should see dramatic. He said probably 85% of a change in your skin. And so I'm like, 85%, I'll take it. So I have to have 4 sessions, and the sessions have to be spaced out 4 to 6 weeks apart. Obviously it can be more than 6 weeks, but he said no less than 4 weeks from your previous session. Yeah, it was like, my skin was like sandpaper. It itched really bad. They told me just to gently wash my face with something pretty, you know, non-abrasive, no scrubs, don't use your Clarisonic, just gentle washing twice a day, and then to moisturize constantly. They told me to moisturize 5 times a day. She said, go in your bathroom and put moisturizer on your face. And man, did I. I went through one of those 4-ounce jars of the Clinique Moisture Surge, the gel. I bought that in July, and I'm already through one of them because of just that week where I had to constantly be, you know, moisturizing. I couldn't use my retinol for 2 weeks afterwards. So I basically went a month without retinol, or 3 weeks without retinol, which sucked. Because I mean, it's one of the few things that does clear up my skin. I'm very, very happy with the results so far. Supposedly you're not supposed to see full-on results until 3 months after the session. My neck is so much tighter. The skin itself is just, it's not, I can't pull on it as much. It's just taut. And if you're doing like a microneedling treatment, it can be done for anti-aging. It can be done for a lot of different skin concerns. Anti-aging, sunspots, you know, just discoloration, hyperpigmentation, things like that. And then this aggressive form that he did is strictly for acne scarring. He said he would never go this aggressive on anyone that, you know, just wanted their wrinkles gone. But I've noticed huge improvements in that area of my face. Like my Botox is finally worn off, and those wrinkles that I talked about in my Botox video they have dramatically reduced. And I don't know, maybe if it's still just a tiny bit of the Botox, because I can, you know, I don't feel, I mean, I may have a tiny bit still left, but it's a huge difference in those expression lines that I have on my face. Huge differences on these wrinkles that I have underneath my eyes right here. I don't have any really big issues with crow's feet before I had the procedure. Even when I went to get Botox, I didn't have any Botox put into my crow's feet. Huge, the biggest difference that I've noticed, and I only noticed it when I actually put makeup on, like foundation, is this area of my face. Which makes me really happy, because that's the area that I was so concerned with, was this area. I mean, the acne, the scarring itself bothers me, but it's a huge difference already. I notice it. My husband notices it. I frankly don't know if anybody else does. My hairstylist, when I went to get my hair done the other day, she was like, "You're like glowing." And you know, it makes me feel really good to have someone say that about my skin, because no one has ever said that about my skin. And when I put on makeup, I am blown away at just the difference that it's made. and I've only done one session, and it's only been, you know, basically since after recovery, it's really only been 3 weeks. So, you know, and I say that to my husband, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe how much my skin has changed. And he's like, yeah, and you like, it just started. So I'll give you kind of a rundown of what the actual procedure is supposed to do. If you are familiar with microneedling or dermapen or derma roller, it's the same concept, except this is more aggressive and it's gonna make it go faster. What you're doing is when they stamp or they roll or they do the dermapen with the needles, is you're creating micro trauma to your face, which in turn makes your skin turn around and want to heal itself quickly. So it creates collagen, like your collagen production is sped up. You're stamping, and you've got, you know, all these little marks on your face from where these needles have gone in, and your skin instantly goes into recovery mode. And so for me, I had tiny, besides the scars where the incisions were from the, you know, getting me prepped, I had teeny tiny little scabs all over my face. So it creates trauma to the face, and then in turn, your skin instantly wants to recover and heal itself really quickly, causing your collagen and all of this stuff to just come to the surface and want to heal itself really quick. So you've got collagen coming back to the skin, which is going to create fullness. It's going to make your skin look more plump. And then in a way, I did shed, it seemed like a few layers of, sorry, this is kind of gross, but I did shed some layers of skin because of the healing process. I mean, she told me, she's like, don't screw with your face. Don't try to like rub all the dead skin off. Don't try to rub this tiny little scabs off. She said, just let it be. And it was nasty. It took I did not wear makeup for probably, I tried to wear makeup about 9 days later and I couldn't. My skin was so dry, it was nasty. Like my foundation was sitting so gross. I had horrible dry patches all over, and I was just like, I can't do it. Like I have to take it off. It looks awful. It was uncomfortable to put makeup on. It took about, I think I put makeup on 17 days after the procedure. I was finally able to put on makeup. That doesn't mean I didn't leave the house. I did, and people looked at me really weird. I'm not really sure what the radio frequency itself does. I think it speeds it up as well, or it causes the collagen to come back to the surface, which is why it's so good for anti-aging, because it makes your skin look plump. It's gonna try to fill in those, you know, fine lines around your eyes, and then, you know, any expression lines up here, which is why I'm seeing huge differences up here, because the little things that I not really noticed before on my skin, like the tiny like fine lines or wrinkles or things like that, I've noticed the biggest, because that's the smallest I guess issues that I have, and they're not as, you know, wrinkles aren't necessarily, fine lines aren't necessarily as deep as say like some of my acne pits. So I'm gonna see a difference in that part of my face first, as opposed to like my acne scarring. But I'll tell you, the biggest places I'm seeing the acne scarring results are back here, this area, because this is where I think it wasn't as bad. My cheeks, like this area of my face right here, is the worst. I'll tell you where, when it comes to that, this actual scarring, like I have like deep like pits right here. And this is going to be the area that's going to take obviously the longest, because it's the most damaged skin. But I'm definitely noticing it up here, like it's starting to look so smooth. When I look at myself, say in like the sunlight, I'll go outside and I'll take a selfie of myself and see what I'm, you know, if there's any differences. And it's just so huge, you guys. I highly, if you have the means, because it is expensive, and I understand that, but I just wanted to get on here and share my story about it. I'm gonna keep you guys updated. Like I'll probably do another video about the microneedling in say a month. I may be recovering from my next session by that point. I don't know. But yeah, I want to keep you guys updated. I want you to see my results. I want you to see the changes that I'm going through when it comes to my skin, because There are people out there that are like, yeah, my skin's so horrible. And I'm like, no, you have no idea. You know, like, you don't know what it's like to spend, you know, an hour on your makeup and it still not look good because of something you can't change. So, I really hope I covered, this is probably like the world's longest video. I feel like I've covered basically everything that I can. I don't know. If you guys do have any questions about this specific procedure, or you know, want to know, I don't know, if you want more videos on this, give it a thumbs up. Let me know. Send me a comment, send me a message, whatever you want to do. This is part of my journey here, and I think that when people get on YouTube and they open up their lives, I think part of doing that requires you to be honest and requires you to say, look, I get it. I have horrible skin. And that's why I'm here. Like, I want to share my journey. I'm not a perfect person. I have a lot of flaws, you know. I'm 15 pounds overweight, you know, like, I'm not perfect. And I feel like it's one of those things where if you're sharing your life and you're coming out and going, look, I get it. You know, I know how hard it is. If you're a teenager with horrible acne, I know, I've been there. I want to help you. You know, I want to help people. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I'm sorry I rambled on for so long, but I just wanted to get down to the nitty-gritty of something like this, because I feel like it's important. If you want to do something to help your self-esteem or to make you feel more confident in yourself, it's important to do that. If you have the means to do that, you should do it. Nothing should hold you back from feeling better about yourself. And I think that if we were more supportive of women having more confidence in themselves, then we, you know, we could live in an amazing world. I'm not a vain person. If you were to knock on my door any day of the week, more than likely you're going to find me still in my pajamas, you know, with no makeup on and my hair in like the world's messiest bun. You guys have seen me like that. I mean, hello. I'm probably going to do a blog post on this too, because I know there were some people that were like, when are you going to post about this? Just because I don't want to just make it significant to just YouTube or whatever. So yeah, follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter, and go over to my blog, diaryofaColorAddict.com, and you guys can check out my posts there. So yeah, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and let me know that you like this video. It takes a lot of courage to come on and be like, look at all my acne scarring. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this. Just kind of a little different background. That's my Christmas tree. Hope you like me in front of this. And I just want to thank you for watching. If you've watched to this point, thank you. I appreciate it. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.